Hello my little mothers and welcome to another video, but this time about building diorama for my model Panzerhaubitze 200. First thing I must do, I go to my garden and grab some dirt. And in this little container, snow. Oh, here is my dog. Cute. This time I start drawing the basic structure on the piece of paper with a pencil. Here you can see that I start drawing a tank model and of course the mountain on the edge. Of course, little bit of a road and some grass on the here. As always, I start cutting the piece of styrofoam with a knife. I don't have a wire cutter, so that's the problem I think, but it's a little bit too expensive for me, so maybe in the future, who knows. So now we can see the cutted block of a styrofoam and of course model on it, and I start draw some structures where will be mountain and of course road and the grass. Now I'm mixing from ordinary snow and baking soda something interesting to my model, because we must modify this model a little bit because in the winter. A little bit of modifying of the bottom part of the styrofoam. This is how it looks now, and now we are cutting the mountain from the styrofoam with a packaging knife. It is kind of fun to build something from scratch like this. If you want to make something similar like to your diorama, you can just make it from styrofoam, and of course using lighter for some more deep into the mountain. We must don't forget on this bit of planks of balsa wood, and again applying a PVA glue on the sides of the diorama, and later of course secure it with pins to hold it. Like always, a lot of pins. And again, like in the previous video, I glue the balsa wood with a super glue. Still not enough pins. Right now you can see how it looks. I think it's kind of great, and of course we must unify balsa wood with a base. Now I start making some more details to the mountain, and that is rocks, because it looks very uniform and flat. I use for gluing ordinary PVA glue, and I start putting these small rocks on the mountain. Right now it looks kinda great, but it will look more detailed, I promise. If you're asking how to make a realistic look of the mountain, it's easy. You just must need a PVA glue and some paper napkins, and just glue it together. It will look great. I know it looks like a project from a school, but I promise it will be amazing. After that I done the base structure of the mountain. I just make the road from clay where tank should stand. I use brush for smoother the clay. And of course put the model on it if it's everything correct. And now let's make the terrain. I just used the dirt from my garden and of course plaster and PVA glue for better hold. I know it's kinda disgusting, this consistency. You thought that I end with the mountain? No. I start adding the moss. Almost on all mountains are some vegetation. I use for gluing mountain ordinary super glue. When it's the mountain on the place, I start spreading this yummy consistency on the ground. I don't know why, but it looks kinda fun to feel it. When the mix is still fresh, I start adding some stones to the more details to the ground. Of course, some smaller stones to do diorama. When it's all dry, I must clean the excess balsa wood. I must use sanding thing to sand this plaster from balsa wood because I filled the holes from pins. Right now we start adding some vegetation like this old wood and grass from nature. And of course I use some old leaves. A lot of leaves right now, and of course secure it with a PVA glue and moss. I use a lot of natural materials because I don't have like the classic plastic ones. Right now I'm applying a lot of PVA glue on the ground. That is because I use dirt to make it a little bit more detailed. And secure the dirt with a highlighted PVA glue. After all these steps, finally painting this beautiful diorama, I start spraying black primer on the rock. I love it how just only the black rock make the diorama looks more detailed. And for sure, we must unify the other Don't forget on the set balsa wood planks. Of course I prime it with a black color. When it's all priming done, I start use this technique which is called wash, like wash color. I start with a light gray on the mountain. And I don't forget of course on the smaller stones on the diorama. Now I start mixing the color and whoops! Great, Vallejo, thank you. After a small funny incident, I start spraying the moss with a lovely green color. And of course other vegetation on the diorama. When it's spraying done, I start making highlights with this lovely green color. Don't forget on the ground and some turfs of grass. Wow, I must say it looks amazing right now, but it's still not the end. I realized that there's still something missing, like a telegraph pole or just a tree. Right now we are back at the weathering of this mountain. I use just a brown color and a lot of water to wash it down. When I'm done with this mountain, I again go to the smaller brothers on the diorama. And I use black color for more deep shading. I know, the rock is still looks like kinda empty. I'm still keeping doing it with other colors. Now I use lighter shade of green, grey, and I start making highlights. The last step of the finish of this mountain is highlighting with a white color. It looks amazing. I'm very pleased with this result. And of course paint this beautiful tree. And of course some shadows with a black color. I of course paint with a brown color the whole ground, and I start just only unify it with a whole diorama, other details, just a little bit. Now we can see how it looks completed, almost completed, and look at that small details. Wow! Again winter diorama. Yeah, of course. I forgot to make a snow from baking soda and water. So I'm just mixing it with a PVA glue for a better hold, and I start spreading this snow on the diorama with an old brush. Little attention to the detail with this tree. adding more snow. Oof, there was a winter storm. Oh my gosh. And don't forget to make a little road with snow. You think that I forgot on the rock? No, 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 again. I, of course, covered with snow the mountain. And with this step is diorama finish. I hope you like it and see you in the next video.